doing a video on my favorite Korean beauty and skincare, and right now I am doing a cloth mask which I've had on for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to peel this away now. I'm going to start off by using a lip mask. I think the idea is that you leave it on overnight, but I kind of use it throughout the day. The only thing is, it's because it's a pot, I don't really like touching it because I don't want to be unsanitary. So it came with a little applicator, but I have lost that, so I'm just going to use a cotton bud. And what I love most about this lip balm is that when you apply it, it really stays put. So say if you put it on before you sleep, you will wake up in the morning and it will still be there, which is nice. Now I'm going to use one of my sunscreens. Now, Korea is famous for sunscreen, and I went a little bit crazy and bought loads of multiples while I was over there. One I've been using the most is the Lagom one. This is apparently one of the most famous sunscreens they have, and it was definitely one of the more expensive ones. But in terms of something cheaper, this is a pure one, and also this Missha one. This Missha one's meant to be very light in coverage, like it's called a Sun Milk, but I haven't used it yet. I have only been using a pure one and the Lagom. So today I'm going to use the Lagom. Sometimes if I'm going out at night or I don't really need sun protection, I will use the Sun & Park Beauty Filter Cream, because it has kind of a pink iridescence to it, which shows up nicely on the skin, but sometimes I find that it makes my foundation color oxidize a little bit. So I just have to be careful when I use that and kind of use it sparingly. But it's a very thick kind of base moisturizer, so it really makes your foundation stick. But for now, I will use the Lagom one. I like this because it is very lightweight, and it disappears quite quickly into the skin, but it also sits really nicely under makeup. And I've got very oily skin, so I need something that kind of will make my makeup or my foundation not separate too much. And sometimes when I use Western sunscreens, my makeup around my nose and my my T-zone area will congeal a bit. I mean, that's the best word I can use to describe it, but it will separate. So the oils in my skin will make the foundation kind of collect in the creases of my face. So I really like this one because that effect doesn't really happen as badly. It's still a little bit, but I mean, I can deal with it. I can't change my skin type, unfortunately. So for concealer, I'm going to use the Innisfree My Concealer. This is really nice because, I mean, Korean makeup is really amazing if you're like me and have really pale skin. So it's very easy to find concealer or foundation color or even face product color like bronzers and blush to match your skin tone. So this is the lightest color of the Innisfree concealer, and I've noticed I've had really quite dry under eyes, so sometimes I like to add a bit of eye cream in addition to my concealer, just on the outer edges. So this is the Mizon Snail Repair Eye Cream. Korean skincare is also really famous for snail products, which is amazing because snail mucus is meant to be very good for repairing the skin surface, especially if you have old acne scars or if you're prone to redness. It's meant to be very healing. So another really good face cream I use is the COSRX. the COSRX all-in-one snail cream, which I love as a night cream because I wake up and my skin feels really plump, really nice, and not red at all. So I will take a beauty sponge, which I got from Daiso in Korea actually, and I'm just going to dab. I have a scar from a birthmark that I had removed when I was very young, so all I really use liquid concealer for is my under eye circles and that scar. Okay, and once I'm done concealing, I like to bake my under eyes because I have quite a deep crease. I don't know if that's very visible at all, but I have a deep crease, so my concealer will tend to settle there if I only have a very light layer of powder. So I didn't actually buy any loose powders in Korea. They're not really into powder anyway, they're very much into the dewy, unset skin look. So I'm just going to use the Hourglass translucent setting powder. Also on a mini beauty sponge, which I also got from Daiso. It came in a pack with that pink one and another larger one, and they're really good size for under eye use. Making sure I really focus on the crease where it will tend to settle, and then I will do the rest of my foundation, everything, and then right at the end, after I've done my eyebrows and mascara, I will flick the remaining powder off. Now I'm going to do foundation. So I didn't buy any foundation in Korea because they're very into the wet, dewy look, like I said before, but I still feel like in Western societies, if you have an oily forehead, it's just, people think that's a bit gross. So I didn't buy any cushion foundation or liquid foundations while I was over there. I'm just going to use my normal one, which I actually got a new batch of from iHerb. I use the Everyday Minerals foundations. I really like these because they have shades that are light enough for me. Other companies like Bare Minerals just tend to look very yellow or orange on my skin, so I like these. I got two new shades. This one is a matte base in Ivory 1N, and this one is another matte base in Golden Fair in 0W. So they have N, C and W, so neutral, cool and warm. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use an old one that I have. This is Ivory 1N matte base. So I swirl some into the lid and I apply it with a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. So I start on the center of my face. I always start from the center because I was watching some video many years ago from a makeup artist, and they said start in the center part of your face because that's where you tend to have the most redness, and on the outer perimeter you don't really need much coverage, so the end effect of your foundation is a lot more natural. I usually focus it around on the redness around my nose and some kind of freckling I have here, which I'm not really too fussed about covering. I more just want to even out my skin tone. So that is my foundation done. I also did not buy any colored face products in Korea, so I didn't buy any bronzer or blush. I have products at home that I was already very happy with, so I didn't feel like I needed to buy anything, which I regret now because you can never have too much makeup. So I'm just going to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Nude Bronze Light. Great for people with pale skin. And I'm just going to put that underneath my cheekbone. I don't really go overboard. Bronzer is hard when you have very pale skin. So I just And I'm going to put a little bit on my neck here, because sometimes my neck looks very white in comparison to my face, and that kind of just blends everything together. So once I'm done bronzer, for blush I might actually use what I'm going to use on my eyes, which is the Vanilla palette in 04 Mood Taker, which is a bizarre name. Now this is probably one of my favorite products that I bought, because the colors are very versatile and I feel like I can get away with it during the day and also night. It has one pink shade which is a little bit harder to wear, but I mean, you can still get away with it in Australia. Okay, another product that I also did not buy in Korea is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is my favorite eye primer, so I wouldn't even need to buy one in Korea. I've used this for many years. It's really good for oily eyelids, which I have. So if I didn't use that, my eyeshadow would all collect in my eyelid crease by the end of the day, or probably within 3 hours. So I'm going to use the light pink in this Vanilla palette now on just kind of a big fluffy brush. This is the Zoeva Luxe Crease Brush. I'm going to place that kind of above my eyelid, just kind of in my crease. Now I have hooded eyes, so it's kind of it's a bit of guesswork. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to take the darker pink and just use the same brush and put that on my eyelid. Okay, that is my eyeshadow done. Looks a bit crazy with no mascara or eyeliner. It looks a bit like I have an eye infection, but it will all tie together nicely. I'm going to take the dark brown now and line my eyes with it. I will start off by lining the entire top lid. Oops, good grief. Let me just fix that up. Once I'm done both eyes, I will do a wing. Just with the same brush, it's the Zoeva Brow Line. So once I'm done my eyeliner, I usually do my eyebrows, which I found that Korea had really good eyebrow products for a really good price. Apure was my favorite, and I bought these two. I actually have another eyebrow pen somewhere that's very similar to the Benefit, the skinny one that kind of has a flat edge. This one is an also flat edged one, like so. It's a really nice cool tone, and which really suits, which I think looks more natural. So Koreans love the straight eyebrow look, so I'm going to attempt that. What I will do is start off with a line above my eyebrows here to flatten them out a bit, and then I will go underneath my arch so there is no longer any curve to my eyebrow. Like that. I will then take the spoolie on the other side and brush them out a little bit, which blends the pencil line a little bit too. And then I will take also from Apia, it's a skinny brow, it's called Brow Cara. It's a coloured brow product, so sometimes if I'm lazy I will just put this in my eyebrows alone. But I usually work it through the outer half, so the tail of my brow. Whoop, that's a lot. Usually work it through the tail, and then to get most of the product off, or the darkest product off, and then I will brush the front hairs up a little bit, just to give a bit of texture. Like that. Now for the final piece of makeup on my eye area is mascara. I bought this Skinny Powerproof mascara from, I don't know, it doesn't have a brand name. But I dislike this mascara because the brush is a little too skinny and it doesn't really make my eyelashes look very voluminous. They look very skinny, which I guess it's called skinny, but I was kind of expecting a bit more. It also has a curved brush. So I'm going to take my eyelash curler, which I bought from Innisfree. And the way I usually do my mascara is I take a compact with a mirror and I look down into it. So that is the difference. So that is my lashes done. For the sake of kind of looking a little more cohesive in my eyes, I'm going to take those pink shades again, probably the lighter one first, just on the edge of a Q-tip, and I'm going to put it here. So for the rest of my face, I'm just going to dust off the excess powder under my eyes, like that. Now for lips, I have a few Sun & Park lip crayons, which were actually part of a gift pack when I bought what did I buy? Me and my friends bought a bunch of the beauty filter creams, so they gave us these for free, which was nice. I'm gonna blot off the excess Laneige lip balm. I'm gonna take two of these colors. One is in a shade and the other is in another shade. It's in Korean. Oh, this one's in 18 and this one's in 13. Haha, my SD card was full. Now these are the two products I'm going to use. One is more of a nude balmy texture and the other one's more of a pigmented hot pink. I'm going to do the Korean style, which is apply the nude color on the outer area of my lips and then the hot pink right in the middle. So it's kind of like a faded effect. I might actually add a little bit more of this pink eyeshadow, just because sometimes when you have everything else on, you can looks a bit stronger now. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about. If you're interested in going to Korea, I would definitely recommend it. Great food, really amazing sightseeing, and obviously very good skincare and makeup. I would just recommend doing a bit of research before you go so you know roughly what to look out for. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.